as for Asian cinema, it is a constant growth, and I think, in every region of Asia, it has been an example for us. We've been inspired by the storytelling, by the technique, and so it's for me a privilege to be here and to get closer to that growth. As a kid, I was influenced by Asian cinema, so it's a variety. It's on a bigger scale. I wouldn't have any direct name from Hong Kong, because my first emotion was In the Mood for Love and Wong Kar-wai. We've been witnessing in Europe the growth of Asian cinema, and you just, when you watch the Oscars and you see who's getting rewarded, you can see the direct impact and influence, and it's a constant growth. So I think it's fair to say that when every story has been told and everything has been filmed, and we see where the new stories are coming from. They're coming from Asia, and I'm looking forward to, a lot of movies back in the days, they used to remake them the American way, and I like the fact that now, the original version is the one that is prevailing. I haven't shot it yet. It's being shot in August. As for the storyline, Darren Star likes to write everything as we're shooting, because he gets directly inspired by the characters, by the real actors in real life. So we cannot tell where it's going to go, but depending on what I'm going to do with my life, there might be an direct influence on Gabriel. So we'll see. It's a nice question, because when you get to work with iconic actors such as George and Julia, you always have expectations. Even though you grew up with them and you saw all their movies, you feel like you know them, but at the same time you can, they say never meet your idols, never meet your heroes, because you get disappointed. And George and Julia happen to be the most generous, kind, and just protective people I've ever worked with. They go out of their way to make the set a safe place and then they gave me an opportunity to improvise. They made me feel loved and accepted, and I think I just learned with them that the bigger the start and the nicer the person. So it gave me a lot of fuel for the rest of my career. Tony Young, Maggie Chop, because I love In the Mood for Love, so I know that Tony is nominated tonight as well. I really hope I'm going to have the opportunity to talk to him, because it's a movie I've been, it came out in the 2000s, and I've been living with it for 20 years, so I think I was 11 when it came out. It was my first emotion cinema, and so I really hope I'm going to get to have a little conversation with him, to be a fan. I spent a lot of time focusing on America and South America, because I wanted to, have a career there. And so when you spend that much time being from Europe, focusing on one continent, other continents are being left out, and I finally have the time to focus on Asia, and I've always waited for that moment to explore and to see this different planets, because every continent is a different world, and to be stimulated by the creative side, by the food, the culture, and Hong Kong is my first step in Asia. It's my first time in Asia, so I'm just, everything I'm seeing is just so stimulating. I'm so happy to be here. Yesterday when we got to the hotel, I just went for a walk for 3 hours and with my old camera and to take pictures, and it's just so stimulating. The perfumes, the colors, the architecture, the fashion, the people, and it's just, at some point you have to feed your brain with something new. You have to see something you haven't seen before, otherwise it's the death of creativity. So I'm very inspired by Hong Kong, and I can't wait to have time off tomorrow to explore.